Hey, and welcome back to Parking Lot Chats with Corn.
And Lord Farquaad. Just kidding. But this... I
Stupid. Your head's not even square. What are you talking about? You're way too tall.
Okay, well...
Way too tall.
I didn't... My hair, when it's... Listen, if you cut your hair short and you have thick hair, you should probably do it all the time because otherwise you have this Lord Farquaad look. And I forgot a clip. And I forgot a hair tie, so this is the look you get this week.
My mom had her hair cut like that, and she had this like really crazy, like she would just like bleach blonde straw, right? Color. Yeah. And then remember Gary would call her the little Dutch boy.
I don't remember that.
It was like a painting, like a paint brand, and it had like the short blonde like chop. And he would be like, "You look like a little Dutch boy."
Oh, I know the Dutch boy paint brand you're talking about, but I don't remember your mom having that cut. I remember she used to dye her hair in your kitchen.
Yeah.
With like I don't even know like. She'd pull it through the fucking
cap. Through the cap, right, and highlight it. And then, like, we were teenagers, and we'd have boys over, and she'd be like, "Can I highlight your hair?"
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and it was 2002, so they'd agree.
I think your mom invented, like, balayage painting, because remember she used to not even use the cap?
She would just...
She started, like, not even using the cap, and she would just fucking paint it in our hair.
She did Dozens' hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
anybody that came to the house, she'd be like, "Do you want me to dye your hair?"
I think she invented, like, hair painting, balayage, before it was cool. We had balayage in your mom's kitchen.
We did.
Okay.
We did.
So,
So now I get tattoos in my aunt's kitchen.
Now you get tattoos in your aunt's kitchen.
I did. I went to my aunt's birthday party.
I was going to ask you about your fucking tat, but I couldn't figure out how to transition to that, so you're good. You did that.
Yeah, so I went to my aunt's birthday party.
Can you show that again?
Well, now it's going to be upside down, but
it's fine.
I can put a picture. Can you see it? No, barely.
A little bit.
That's the point.
That's real, by the way.
That is real. That's real.
I saw you post it, and I thought for sure it was like a...
Temporary?
temporary.
Oh, no, that's real. That's very real.
You got that for the
Bluey special?
Bluey special?
I did. Well, so I've been
28 minutes.
Why is that 28 minutes?
Why is that such a big deal?
The shows are 8 minutes long.
Oh fuck.
Yes, every episode is 8 minutes long. It is.
Why?
It was a big deal. Okay, so there's been a lot of speculation. So a lot of people think that the show's ending.
Yeah, I remember you saying that last week. You're like, it better not end. I'll be sad.
Yeah. So then there were rumors on the internet that they might just be doing like a hiatus because they do like the episodes. I mean, the episodes are 8 minutes, but there's like 48 episodes a season. We're on 3 seasons and now this. And like, there was speculation that they wanted to give the kids a break and let them have like a normal life. But from what I understand, Ludo
the
Studios...
kids as in the people who voice them? What kids? It's actual kids that voice them?
So yeah, so because they're Australian and, you know, they've learned from... Quiet on the set, we all have, or whatever. Other like child actors, obviously, child actors been getting screwed over since way before that. But we don't know their identity. They are not. So they're paid, but they are not named at all. All we know is that they are children of somebody that works on the show. You don't know if it's the writers' kids, the producers' kids, the actors' kids. We don't know who these kids are.
So what's it say in the credits?
It doesn't.
Oh,
it just doesn't. So there was speculation that they wanted to like let them have a little break, but according to Ludo Studios, according to everything that I found online, the show is not stopped. But it was, if they did go on hiatus, I would be really happy with how they wrapped everything up. So you're not familiar, but anybody that is watches the show, like they wrapped everything up so neatly. Like everything was closed, everything was full circle. So there's like the oldest brother of the dad of the family, in the very first season, he comes over to babysit. And the mom had also invited her friend to babysit, and she didn't get the text that this guy was coming. And so they kind of like had their little meet cute.
Okay.
And they're like, Double Babysitter. The name of the episode is Double Babysitter. And at the end of the night, they're like kind of like talking. And so they got married. So this was their wedding. So now 3 seasons later, they get married.
Okay.
And there was like the sister of the mom. There was an episode where we find out that she has struggled with infertility. And so at the wedding, she shows up pregnant.
So they really did almost like a season, like a finale.
Yes. So like I am still a little nervous. And I was like Googling everything today to talk about it. And like everything says the show's not over. Now that doesn't mean that there's going to be there's not going to be a hiatus. And if there is, like I totally understand like the kids need to need to live their lives. But like it was all just so fucking good. At one point, so she runs away from the wedding, right? Like, obviously, we have to have a bride chase, right? Because she finds out she's getting ready for the wedding, and then the other brother says, oh, well, you're going to move with him after the wedding. And she's like, who the fuck said I'm moving? So she's like, wedding's
they
off.
They definitely use those words too.
Yeah, they definitely did. Yeah. They definitely did. And she was like, wedding's off. Fuck you, I'm out. She said that. And then, so they're looking around. The mom's like driving around. So the mom's driving around looking for her, right? Well, the mom's like, I have to go. And the kids are like, we want to come. And the mom's like, no, you can't come. And so then other people start walking into the room, and the kids are all immediately telling everybody that they can that she left and the wedding's off.
Oh, shit.
So the mom starts slapping her hand all over their mouths.
Oh, my God.
So the dad and his brother Stripe, who the other two kids were his, both the dad of the show, Bandit, and Stripe, his brother, as she's doing this to each kid, says, I didn't know we could do that.
Oh, my God.
And she's just like putting her hand over kids. So she takes all the kids with her. She goes to find Frisky, and then when she finally finds Frisky, they find her at, she's like, oh, I know that she's going to be here. This is a place that we used to go to when we were teenagers to talk. So, like, they were clearly, like, drinking or smoking, you know what I mean? Something. And it was just, there's so many, like, fun moments for us. It was so full circle. And then at the end, they decided they're going to stay. And then I told you that their house was up for sale.
Yes.
In a Ghost Basket.
Yes.
So, they have a buyer. They pack up. So the whole episode, Bluey's upset about moving, and Bingo's like, about selling the house. And Bingo's like, I don't care. So the very end, the house is sold. They're packing, and Bingo's like, what is going on? And they're like, well, we sold the house. You said you didn't care. She didn't realize that meant that they were moving. So she didn't realize that selling the house, that they were moving. She thought they were going to sell the house to somebody and still live there. So then she has her meltdown. Everybody has now been melting down. The mom also had a meltdown about moving at one point because she kept telling the kids to be cool, and the kids were like, why don't you care? And she was like, what? You think I don't fucking care? You had your first steps in this house. I'm pissed too. She was like, but it's going to be a new adventure. Like, we have to do like the best thing for our family. The dad had gotten a new job. And so he was like, and you could tell he was on the fence too.
Right.
So then at the end of the wedding, his brother decides that he's staying because Frisky was not going to marry him if he didn't. And so the very end of the show, by the way, spoiler alerts.
I'm a little late for that.
Right. We'll write it in the caption. You'll figure it out.
Let me guess. Frisky buys the house and the brother.
No, even better.
Okay.
So they're packed and they're ready to pull out. And there's this other, so the couple that bought the house.
Okay.
They go to the lookout where they had found Frisky. And when they're looking out, they see Winton's dad and the terrier's mom. And Winton's dad is moving out of his house and into okay, you don't know that, but this is another part of it. And the sheepdogs who are going to buy their house, they see that house. And they're like, oh, we want that house instead. And they rescind their offer. And then Bandit gets upset, and then he rips the for sale sign out of the front yard. And so you can take it however you want, but we think they're staying.
Huh. What about his job? Maybe.
And that's what, so he said to the brother at the end of the wedding, and he's like, I'm going to stay. And then Bandit said to the brother, what about your job? And the brother said, I'll get a new job. You worry too much. And then at the very end, Bandit pulled the sign out of the fucking ground and threw it across the yard. So I think they're saying, Eric was like, it's open-ended. It could mean anything. He loves to play devil's advocate, that one.
Yeah. I feel like we just talked about, like, the Housewives and not, like, a Bluey episode.
That's because you don't get it, Kim. And see, that's how I would feel if you were talking about Housewives. I don't give a fuck.
I know.
I was like, my sister, one time I was going to meet her in California, and she was like, do you care if we go to, I don't know what it was. And she was like, it's easier. This is the Vanderpump. She was like, do you care if we go to this restaurant, blah, blah, blah? And I was like, why would I care? And she was like, well, it's big from the show. And it just, if we go when you're here, then, like, it's not a night that Lisa's definitely going to be there. But if I go tonight, Lisa's going to be there. And I was like, I don't even know who the fuck Lisa is. I do now because she's told me about it.
Did you see Lisa?
No, I didn't go. They went without me. Because that was the night that Lisa was going to be there, and I didn't know who that was. So I was like, I don't even know who that is. Why would I care? So my point is that I love Bluey, and I'm really into it. And I don't really care about Housewives, anyone. I don't know who any of the Housewives are. Fun fact, Eric.
I can tell you love Bluey. Although that sun on your shirt's bothering me, but you have an amazing Bluey shirt on right now.
Well, it's from Temu, so I think that it's supposed to be...
This is the better Temu, though. This is the, like, where it's screen printed or whatever, and not like your other Temu purchase that, like, it was coming apart.
That's
the vinyl versus...
Yeah, that one was falling apart.
Yeah.
But the problem with this one is it's either supposed to be Bluey and Bingo or the mom and dad, right? You would think Bluey and Bingo. So that's Bingo, but that's the dad.
So that's not the mom?
Nope. The mom is a red healer. The mom and Bingo are both red healers, and the dad and Bluey are both blue healers.
Yeah.
So they've definitely mixed up their who's who here.
Yeah, because it should be the mom and dad because it says busy doing mom stuff.
Right.
So, like, it's the mom It should be the mom getting a coffee, her kids McDonald's, and spending her money.
Right, but that's definitely Bingo because the mom has like more markings.
I don't think Bluey and Bingo are served McDonald's.
Maybe. I don't know what they eat over there. Well, they did one episode where they went to get like takeout and it was like Chinese food and it looked really good. But you're right, I haven't seen them go to McDonald's. But I don't know if that's a copyright issue, honestly.
It probably is.
So yeah, it's really exciting. It's exciting stuff if you're into Bluey. You know, you can get your matching long dog tattoos from your little cousins.
Wait, is long dog what you're supposed to find in every episode?
Yes. So that's why, like, I kind of wanted it to be small and like, and it's my cousin who is, I say my little cousin, but he's a grown man that's over 6 foot tall. But for me, he's my little cousin. So he's like practicing tattoos. So that's why, like, I did it. And then he was like so cute and like nervous about like doing it wrong. And I was like, Kevlar, here's the thing. It's meant to be something that just blends into like the background of stuff. So like if it's fucked up, that kind of works better even. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing is like they're not all the same. So then I'm trying to explain it to my aunts who are there, it's my aunt's birthday. So they're drinking and we're having a nice time and I'm trying to explain what this is to them and they are not getting it. And I'm explaining that like it's kind of like it's drawn into things. So there's like an episode where like they're vacuuming and like inside the dust bag you can see it. So like I'm showing them pictures and like, well, that doesn't look like that. Well, that doesn't look like that. Well, no, because it's meant to blend. It's
meant to be like a hidden thing.
Right. So there's one. It's just like the head coming out from like behind a toaster oven with a Santa hat on. And I'm like, well, why is that like that? Well, because it's a fucking Christmas episode. So they were not getting it at all. But they were very excited. They were all very excited for me about it. They didn't get it, but they were excited.
Yeah. Actually, it looks good. And, like, the detail is good for as small as it is, you know?
Right. Like, it's hard to do small tattoos, you know? So I love it. And when he originally said that he was, like, starting to tattoo, my other cousin told me that she had gotten a tattoo from him. I was like, I'm getting a long dog tattoo then. So then when it just so happened that we're, like, over at, like, his mom's house for her birthday the night before the sign came out.
Yeah.
We're like, so, Kevlar, where's your tattoo gun? And do you want to play? So.
It looks good. It's cute.
Kim did think that this was fake.
I did think it was fake, though.
It's not fake. I did that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bluey finale.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. Speaking of child actors, did you watch The Last Quiet on the Set?
I did not yet, actually.
So do you want to wait till you watch it, or do you want me to tell you what happened?
No, you can tell me what happened.
It was kind of just like an interview after the interview. Like they asked like Drake Bell, and like I don't know. I didn't love the interviewer. I don't know her, but I felt like she was kind of. And then I don't know if that's the point, right? Like she was kind of like picking a little bit, but like is that not the point? You have to get
them to speak,
right? I don't know. But she asked him like 5 times, and I don't know again if this is editing, and she was like, why did you decide to tell your story now? Why did you decide to tell your story now? Why didn't you tell your story before? And it's like,
was he not answering it?
I don't know. Like he was just kind of like, but like it was just rapid fire. So I don't know if it was like the editing, because it was like multiple times, you know what I mean? And she was like he was like trying to answer, and like she wasn't letting him get to it, you know what I mean? And then he eventually did, and he was just like, you know, the people that made, and this was kind of like a common theme throughout everyone that they talked to in this 5th episode, they all felt comfortable talking to these people, which then makes me think about like, so did you see
they felt comfortable talking to the people who made the documentary?
Yeah, those people made them feel comfortable.
So who are these people that made them feel comfortable?
It looked like it was a couple of girls, so I don't know if like that's the difference. You know what I mean? Where women a little more have like a more tender touch to it,
right?
Like were they able to be like a little kinder about it? I don't know. But it made me question. The old host from Family Double Dare had said that he was in the very beginning of the doc, and then there was a lot of interviews with him on the internet in the last couple of weeks saying that he ended up backing out because they misled him and it wasn't what he thought it was going to be. And it seemed, and it's like, well, these people who were actually harmed pretty badly were comfortable talking to these people. So if you had a bad impression of them, I don't know. It makes me feel like maybe you're the bad
what
guy.
What did you do?
Right. Like were they trying to get you for something?
Or who are you still trying to protect?
Right. So it was the boy Brian. Remember him? The black kid? And his mom?
The mom who,
Him and his mom had not spoken until that doc aired. He did not realize. He was mad. I mean, maybe they hadn't. Yeah. They hadn't spoke. They had a really bad relationship after that. And she had said that she felt like when he wasn't renewed, and it was because of her.
Fault. Yeah. And he had said he felt like it was her fault.
So they haven't had a relationship all this time. After the doc aired, or after they recorded the doc, She texted him, Happy Valentine's Day. So it must have been after recorded before it aired. And he texted her back. And that was the first time that he had responded. And I think they felt like by doing... He was a kid, and so he kept these kid feelings, even though he had been in therapy. I think he didn't realize how much she had protected him from, and that she was... And, like, now, he said now that, like, she absolutely did the right thing, and he, like, agrees with her, but, like, it took him all that time to see it.
Huh, that's crazy.
Right? And, like, he was in therapy, but, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's... And, like, he's a parent now, so I don't know if, like, that's what it was, like, going through and doing the doc, like, as the parent made you realize that your parent did do, you know, and like realizing what all these other parents let happen to their children, and your mom, would you rather have your mom take you out of it?
I would guess that the mother also has felt some sort of guilt this entire time and has not reached out. And then that was like this grudge that the son was still holding.
Probably.
Because I feel like after so long, and like, yeah, at some point in therapy and everything, he's realized that, like, before this documentary, that, like, his mom helped him, but he probably still had animosity because she was, like, never tried to rekindle the relationship herself. Or maybe she did, and just not, like, the timing was wrong, and then she kind of gave up on it, too.
And she seemed...
Well, not gave up, but, you know, like, stopped trying.
Well, she seemed like she was afraid.
Yeah.
Like, afraid to push him away. Like, afraid to... So she might have been, like, thinking in her head that if she went after him, it would have pushed him further. Right. And he was expecting her to. I don't know all the nuances of their relationship, but it was cute to see that, like, they had came back together now.
Yeah.
And then there was the other girl, and she had said, the other girl... So it was, like, the only two black people on the show. The other girl, she said that Dan had called her right before it aired, and asked her to give him a like character. She had a word for it. I watched it late at night. Like a character reference, and like say that he was great.
What?
He wanted her to tell them that she was great, and she was like,
because she was the one that Dan was always nice to, right? But she
was afraid of him.
Like she'd gotten a weird feeling from him, but like he never did anything
crazy to her, but she felt like she had to smile and laugh at all his jokes because she was afraid that if she didn't, he would take it away.
Saw what he did to
others. Right. She was like, you.
So it's like that submissive one, or whatever.
Submissive
is the right.
Basically,
is the one he's now reaching out to for character.
Right, because he thought that and so she had also come back to work on another show. So she had worked on the Thundermans, which I guess was like a more recent show.
I don't even remember that one.
I see it on like Paramount Plus. And so she had come back, so he thought that because she came back for another show that she liked him, and she was like, look, like now that I'm an adult, I can tell you, I was terrified of you, and like I had to go along with the things that you said because I knew that you would make or break my career. I knew that everything was up to you. I knew that I had to, you know what I mean? So that was interesting that he called her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the interviewer was like,
so what was he trying to get a character witness for the trial? Was he?
No, he just wanted her.
Trial?
He wanted her to just like be on the dock saying like, Dan was great, because he knew that no one else was going to say that.
Yeah.
And then like the interviewer obviously had like questions for Drake about like, well, everyone else hated Dan and you liked Dan. And he was like, look, like I'm sorry for everyone else's experiences. And he was like, but my experience was that he was the only one. He's like, still to this day, no one's okay. So remember how Drake said that when he went to court, it was just him and his mom and his brother on his side and all these celebrities on Brian Peck's side. Will Friedle, the older brother, Eric from Boy Meets World.
Yes.
So he was there at the court, and he had written a letter for Brian Peck, right? So after all this airs and the whole internet's like, how dare you guys be on this fucking predator-ass side versus this fucking child, right? Like, how are you going to take the predator side? So he puts out this real nice interview about, how he never knew and he couldn't believe. And when he got to the courtroom and he saw that everybody was on this side, he started to realize that something was wrong. And why are they all defending Brian and this kid's alone? And he felt really bad and his heart was broken and he just felt so bad about it all this time, right? So the interview asked him, she was like, did he say something to you? And Drake was like, and she was like, do you feel better hearing this? And Drake was like, I mean, honestly, no. Because he didn't say this to my face.
What? Now he's just trying to cover ass.
And apparently,
save his face.
since in between this has happened, from like the trial that he was on Brian Peck's side to today talking about how he felt bad at the time, they've worked together. He's like, he's worked with me. He didn't say anything to my face afterwards. So if he felt that way during the trial, how did he work with me in my... He was like, now he's telling like all the internet that he felt bad 20 years ago, but he saw me 10 years ago and couldn't say it to my fucking face.
Did this come out last night?
I saw it a couple days ago, and honestly, I texted you last week, and I just forgot until last night
because I didn't see it. But I'm just wondering if now he's said anything. Probably not. They all stay quiet.
And you know what? Maybe, because I feel like it did say that it came out semi-recently, but
they usually stay quiet after that shit.
Yeah. So honestly, I thought that was interesting. Away. You know what I mean? Because she was like, "How do you feel about this?" And he was like, "I don't really feel any kind of fucking way." And I was like, "Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Fuck him. Fuck you, Eric."
I liked him as the older brother.
I did too, but it turns out as a human being, he's shitty. Right, like, how are you going to act like on the internet, oh, I can't believe I felt so bad for this kid. But you were in his face, you worked with him, and you didn't say shit to his face?
Yeah.
You could have apologized to him in person. You could have sent him a fucking edible arrangement. Something. You know, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, I'm funny. I can't turn it on.
She's going to be our next stand-up comedian.
I would love to, but... Honestly, I don't really have the time for that either. You know what I mean? That would be a very, like, commitment.
You're the comedian on Parking Lot Chats.
I am. And in my own world. In my world, I'm hilarious. My kid thinks I'm so funny.
That's where he gets his funniness from.
Yeah, he is pretty
He told me the other day he was, Mega Godzilla?
Yeah.
Wasn't that his name?
That's his nickname.
No, I said, what's your name? To introduce him, like, to Kay's friend. He goes, Mega Godzilla. And I was like, well, that's what he wants to be called.
I do believe it. He did tell me today that it was his nickname. He's been like talking about nicknames a lot.
Yeah.
Because he was like, well, your name's Karina. And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, your nickname's Mom. And I was like, sure.
Okay.
And then he's like, my name's Ferris, but my nickname's Mega Godzilla. I was like, and then I was like, oh, cool.
So,
and then he goes, my nickname's really long.
So you wanted to go by his nickname the other night.
Like he made it up.
You're gonna get to school, like now in school, you have to like fill out a paper if you want the teacher. If you want a teacher to call you anything than your name on your birth certificate. So if your name on your birth certificate is something fucking crazy and you go by John.
Like Mega Godzilla?
Yeah, and you go by John. Your teacher cannot call you John unless your parent fills out this paper, signs it, and returns it to the school.
That's how my kid's being homeschooled.
So you're gonna, if you do ever send your kid to school and he wants to be called Mega Godzilla, you're gonna have to fill out the paper for his nickname.
We go to a
they're not allowed to call Kaylee K unless I send in a paper that says it's okay.
The shit that goes on
like,
in
what
schools
the
is
fuck?
So wild.
What the fuck? But
I'm glad you guys are almost done.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, right. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, Kay's almost done, and then I got 2 more behind her. But
yeah, but they're still like more than halfway through, right?
Yeah.
All right, at least you're not starting at the beginning.
No.
Fuck me.
No. On the downslide of it.
This is what happens when you make your decisions. Have your kids early.
No, or don't. Not at 20. I saw a picture. I was going through like trying to find a KK's like pre-K picture, which is where I found our new podcast cover photo, which I did change our Instagram already. It'll be out on everything by the time this is posted.
I didn't change YouTube yet. I just posted it on YouTube, but I didn't change the picture.
Yeah, we have time. Yeah. But I was looking for her like pre-K picture, and I came across where the fuck was I just going with that?
About how you're 20 having kids.
Oh yeah, and I saw a picture of like me when Kaylee came home from the hospital, and I just was like so fucking young. I thought I was so fucking grown at 20. Like, I'm grown, I'm an adult, I can have children. And now I look back at like how fucking like young, and I see 20-year-olds now, and I'm like, don't have fucking kids.
But you did it.
I mean, I did it, but like it wasn't fucking easy. I guess it's never easy at any age, and now I'm older, and they're older, and I can do things at 36 and not have to worry about a babysitter.
Are you 36, Kim?
38. I like to be 36 sometimes. That just came out. I didn't think about my age. I just said a number.
It like it was real.
I just said a number.
That's why I had to ask. You said that shit like it was real. That's not real.
But no. So, okay, let's move on to some more pop culture news.
Let's talk about the star of the show.
Let's talk
the elephant in the
about
room.
the R.I.P. to douchebag.
I don't know.
Are we saying R.I.P. to him?
Not, no.
Have you seen the TikToks that are like trying, like Sports Center or whatever, trying to figure out their like what they're gonna say? Yeah, no. And then they just go with R.I.P. O.J. Simpson. They don't say like our condolences or anything. I mean, he had kids. I don't know like if he had a relationship with kids. I saw like a TMZ, they're so fucking invasive, trying to do like a workup on like his kids and stuff, and everyone in the comments
pop out of the
like,
toilet?
Leave them alone, like leave these kids alone. They have nothing to do with, and they're all fucking adults now.
And like it's been like their whole life has been difficult.
I don't know if they were close to their dad or whatever, but at the end of the day, like it was still their dad, so I'm sure it's sad to
okay,
like,
so that's what we're gonna say condolences to.
Yeah,
the
like
kids.
condolences to the kids.
To the kids.
But fuck you, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, I didn't realize that. Like, I don't know. I mean, what was it? 90? When did that happen? 94. The Bronco chase.
90 something.
Yeah, it was early 90s, and I feel like I was just too young. Like, I remember, like, maybe I don't remember even the Bronco chase. Maybe I just remember at this point the clips of, like,
that you've seen for the last
yeah, like, of the Bronco being chased on the LA. But I also don't remember that, like, he wrote a book. Like, I guess I just didn't, like, care enough. Or, like, sometimes I don't pay attention to things like that because I don't want to support. Like, if I bought that book, I would be supporting him, and I don't want to give him my money.
So I want to talk about the book, but if I talk about the book, then I want to talk about that interview that you sent me.
Yeah, so the interview that he did with who the fuck was she?
So here's the thing. So
the what was it called? What was it? What is it? Hypothetical interview.
So my friend, so that interview was released about 6 or 7 years ago. It was right around the time I got pregnant. My kid's 5. So that's when that interview was released. A friend of mine who was like really into true crime was like, hey, we have to watch this new O.J. Simpson doc. So we did. And so when he wrote the book, he commissioned...
Which is called If I Did It. And the if is like a centimeter tall in letter I of I. Like if I, the big I, it's like tiny. So the book, when you look at it, it just says I did it. But it's technically called If I Did It.
Yeah, because he's a fucking narcissist hiding his fucking confessions in plain sight.
Yeah.
And also...
And is it like double jeopardy? Is that why he's allowed to do that now?
Well, so he was acquitted in the criminal case, but he was found guilty
in the
civilly,
civil, and that's a whole thing now because
so
his estate like is refusing to pay, but everything's in a trust.
And, yeah.
Because everything's in a trust, and like when things are in a trust, it's protected from liens and shit. So someone helped him.
Yeah. So, okay, so he wrote the book, and then he commissioned that whole interview. He paid for that interview. He was producing that interview. That interview was all on him.
Oh.
The families of Nicole and Ron petitioned the court and sued to have the interview stopped when it was originally made because they didn't see it. It was his. So they didn't know how stupidly incriminating it was. So their thought was, and their court case was that with the book and that interview that he was planning on releasing was wildly disrespectful and rude, and that he shouldn't be able to make money off of murdering people, right?
Right.
So the family's which is fair. So the family's got it shut down. It went into some vault somewhere. Companies change hands, this, that, and the other happens. An agent gets their hands on it, shows it to the families. And the family said, oh, yeah, you go ahead and air that.
Oh, shit.
And then that's when we got it. Because if you watch the whole thing, he goes through this whole hypothetical situation where he says, well, this happened, so I had to do that. That's not how hypotheticals work.
And I do remember.
And he says multiple times, like, he'll be like, well, this happened, so then I had to do that. Right. And then he'll be like, well, I remember, or, well, because of this, I had to do. That's not how hypotheticals work.
Okay, I'm going to be like devil's advocate. I don't know devil's advocate. But now that I hear that he commissioned it, he hired that interviewer. He had his money and hands in every part of that. Do we think that was all an act the way he was answering the questions?
I think that he really, and I think
and
that
trying to make money off of their deaths, and like the fact that everyone thinks he was so guilty for it. I'm just being devil's advocate because he did. I didn't realize he commissioned it all. Like I wondered why the interviewer wasn't like Barbara Walters or someone like.
No, somebody was paying.
Right.
So my opinion, and again, this is all our opinion. We don't fucking know.
Because I think he did it. Like I don't understand because the glove didn't fit while he was trying to put the gloves over latex gloves and their leather.
And his leather had gotten wet. It's
had gotten
shrink.
wet, so it's going to shrink. And there's literally videos of him wearing very similar like black gloves on sports podcasting shit, and like there's a whole his blood was found at the scene. All this. So I'm not saying like I think he did it, but.
If you watch that whole interview from the clip that you sent me, there's no doubt in your mind that he did that.
Yeah.
No doubt in your fucking mind.
Like you don't think he was just playing for the cameras.
So in my
or maybe
opinion,
he was, but he was recounting like what he actually.
Right. In my opinion, the way, and again, I don't know him personally, but like from everything that we've seen, from the fucking smirks and the smiles in the courtroom, I think that he's just that fucking arrogant.
And like the shock of like even the lawyers
that fucking arrogant
when he like got acquitted in Robert Kardashian, which is a whole nother fucking like the fact that the Kardashians are like linked to all of
I know that like Robert was the lawyer and that they were friends, and I know that there's been speculation on the internet that he's
like
Chloe's dad. Which is obviously stupid.
I mean, is it though?
I mean, does she look like a linebacker? A little bit.
A little bit, and she looks nothing like
the rest of
Kim
them?
And Courtney. Nothing.
Does she look black though?
What, so have you ever seen that picture where like she does that like that photo shoot or whatever where she's like, I let my hair go natural and it's curly as shit?
Oh.
Like kinky curly?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah.
And you know what? And like jeans are weird. You know what I mean? Like
they are.
I follow like this
someone
person...
I mean they're Armenian or whatever, right? I think he was Robert.
Oh no, I meant she could be black. I was gonna say that you could be right. I meant that's what I was gonna say about jeans are weird.
But they are weird where like black could just be somewhere in their gene pool between
Armenian, whatever.
Right. And like she gets that gene fucking 10 years later that no one like I get all but
I was gonna say that I could be wrong, like she could look white and still be OJ's kid.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
well that too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right. I follow this girl on TikTok and she's like real black and her baby's like blue eyes.
Right.
White.
Yeah, for sure that can happen too. But I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't count that out as being like false, but there was always that rumor that like the two of them, you know, she's the real father, but the Booker, Cory Booker or whatever, that Kris Jenner is
that Kris Jenner's boyfriend?
Yes. Is God, I need to look at I didn't write this down. I didn't write this part down in my notes, but there is a weird web of how Cory Booker is involved in like all this OJ shit, and they think that he like the rumors are that he's like Kris Jenner's like handler was like obviously that's like conspiracy shit, but like that he was kind of like
would you be surprised to find out that Kris Jenner has a handler?
Because he's way younger than her too. Cory Booker, OJ Simpson.
I would not be surprised to find out that they got like a guy.
Like there's pictures of like Cory like back in the day with OJ.
How young is he though?
Well, he's not. I can't find it. I don't know. You know, stupid TikToks.
For the longest time, my sister and her husband used to live in this different.
Isn't that his name, Cory Booker? Because it's coming up as someone else.
I feel like that's his name. And they lived in like this different apartment complex, not apartment, but like townhouse complex, gated community. And one of the houses, like that you turned on to get to their street, had a white Bronco in the driveway always. And then my brother-in-law would be like, "Well, when you get to OJ's house, turn left."
Oh my God.
Always.
That's pretty funny.
Right, and then she would be like, "You're so stupid," but like, we knew what he meant.
I should be better at like who is at
right. Kris Jenner's boyfriend.
Finding Coy Gamble. We were saying the wrong name.
And I thought Gamble for a second, and then I was like, no, it's somebody that I know's last name is Gamble.
I'm terrible at names. Like, I feel like sometimes I know what I'm talking about, but I can't. How many times have I done that on this podcast where I've just totally, I just said my wrong age. Like, I just say things. And I'm, like, so confident in them, and then I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't sound right.
You were really confident about being 36. So I was like, that's not fucking true.
No wonder it wasn't coming up. I should have Googled this shit, like, before, right? So I'm, like, not doing it in the
like,
podcast,
in your defense, though, you don't know these people in real life.
I
don't know people he knows in real life's names.
Right. I don't know. Maybe we should talk. Maybe I should update this later on another time, so I don't spend so much time.
Okay, well,
25-year age gap between the two, between Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble.
That's a pretty big age gap.
But
and no one's talking shit about her on the internet.
They met at a party hosted by Kanye West. But there was like some connection in web between.
Kanye's the normal one somehow?
I don't know.
I mean, compared to like Jay-Z and Diddy.
I don't know if I would ever put.
Yeah, maybe not normal,
Kanye
but I don't think he's like. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. Maybe not normal, but he's not as like celebrity. Like, he doesn't follow their shit.
I think the craziness comes from somewhere of truth.
Right. He's the Donald Trump of rap music.
Yeah, like
that's why they're friends.
Craziness comes from some truth. Maybe it was.
Not that guy's telling the truth, but you know what I mean. They're on the outskirts because like they got some crazy ass like shit to say, and sometimes they're right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look it up later. But there was some weird. I came across like a TikTok. That's where I get all my news from.
Obviously.
But I don't know. The whole. I mean, you know, you're like, yeah. How hot is it there, OJ?
Right. So, I saw an article when he first passed, and it was saying, so this is interesting. This is what I want to talk about. First, let's preface, you don't let your kids play football, right?
I don't.
Right. So, apparently...
Which my kids, Caden's always been pretty annoyed with me for, but...
But, apparently, there is a particular brain damage situation that scientists, neuroscientists, neurologists, whatever you want to say, believe is linked to head traumas from playing football, and it causes a like brain damage situation that makes you extremely violent and prone to violent outbursts where maybe you do things that you would not have done did you not have this. So when OJ died, a lot of scientists were very, very hopeful that they would be able to. So this is also only diagnosable through an autopsy.
Oh, shit.
The only way to say if you have this certain brain damage disease that causes you to do outlandish ass violent things is if they open up your brain.
Yeah. But has he been violent since? So it's not like he's ever been, has he? I mean,
I don't know. I believe that there were other stories of like fights and whatnot, like during football. You know what I mean? But his family is not. I said nope.
Oh, they're not doing an autopsy.
They're not gonna let it. Well, they're not gonna let them do it.
Well, they knew why he died, so there wasn't really like a.
Okay. The longtime lawyer for O.J. Simpson is okay. So this is from the Shade Room. I'll give people their credit. This is a post from the Shade Room. Roomies, the longtime lawyer for O.J. Simpson, is opening up about how the Hall of Fame football player will be cremated. According to People, who Malcolm Lavergne, whatever his name is, who's also serving as the executor of Simpson's estate, said that Simpson will be cremated and the arrangements for a funeral service have yet to be finalized. Reports also state Simpson's brain will not be donated for scientific research as his family disapproved. Lavergne added that Simpson's family gave a hard no to scientists asking to study Simpson's brain for CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. This is a brain disease that has been diagnosed in many deceased professional football players and is believed to be caused by repeated head trauma, according to the Mayo Clinic. And I mean,
that's why I've never I get like injuries can happen in any sport, but like the brain shit always scared me with like tackle football, and so I've just never allowed him to do it. I get like in baseball he could be hitting the head with a ball and like suffer from a TBI, but like in football it's hit after hit after hit after hit. Like baseball, it's a terrible off chance that it happens. It's not, you know what I mean? It's
right.
Not part of the game.
Of the day.
So I just never let him do it. But
yeah, well, so that's like a good. There you go.
Yeah,
because it's like a regular thing for a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of, and I could see why you'd say no too, because say you open up his brain and you find out that he has this, that's even more fuel for them to go after you for that money.
Right.
Like I don't know, is that almost like an extra admission of guilt? That fucking hypothetical ass interview is your admission of guilt, honestly.
Yeah, but he did, like we said, he did lose that civil case, but I don't know.
Yeah, the interview's pretty good if you can find it. I don't remember what it's called. You sent me a clip from it and I immediately recognized it. because I did watch the whole thing, but like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's probably called If I Did It, because it was from his book.
It probably is.
It was like around, like when he released the book, he had that interview recorded, and he was planning to release the interview with the book, and then the families were like sued him and like barred it from being sent. And then, like I said, eventually it was found later on, and then they watched it, and they're like, oh yeah, definitely play that. Because he literally, the whole time, he just goes through and tells you exactly what happened and how he did it.
Yeah.
But he just keeps throwing the word hypothetically in there, not even using it in the correct context.
Yeah, it wasn't
He's
even
not using it correctly. He just throws it around like, well, if I say hypothetically enough, you can't. And you're right, double jeopardy, right?
I think so. I think he could never be tried for it again unless there was like a mistrial, something, unless they found something within the trial. But even then, like, is there like a statute of limitations on like filing for a mistrial?
And then like with double jeopardy, can you come after him for something else related, right? So like you couldn't like come after him for the murder of, but could you come after him for aggravated manslaughter of, right? You know what I mean? If it's a different,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. We're not lawyers.
I think that's why they were able to do the civil case separate from the...
Right. Well, that's a whole nother game.
Yeah.
Right. And it's insane to me that you can be found guilty in the civil case, and then it's like, oh, but we're still not going to get you.
He's already acquitted.
Right. So... But like, I know it just sucks. Like you can't.
Yeah. I even saw like Robert Kardashian in an interview with Barbara Walters, and she got him to say that he struggles with whether he was innocent or not. So I guess even he didn't like for sure know or didn't say in the interview, but he said because of like the blood at the scene, he was never able to really believe that he was like that. Always, anytime he would like think, okay, he is innocent because this and this didn't add up, his brain would go back to, but his blood is at the scene.
And I think as the defense attorney, do you want to know?
Probably not. No.
Right.
Like you've let this guy
right.
off. And he said if he wouldn't do it again because of how much like
ate him up,
hate he got, and like threats against his family. And he said he lost his fiance, and I didn't look into if that was Chris. Like who was his?
No, they were broken up by then.
They were broken up by then.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. But yeah, I don't know. That was some crazy news when that came across. The news, like the feed in the morning, and it got announced. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, we're never gonna know the truth. And my manager was like, Kim, we know the truth. Like he's admitted
that interview.
He's admitted it plenty of times. And then of course that interview like cycled on TikTok and stuff after that. But
I watched it like when it came out at my friend's house. I have a friend that she's really into true crime. So as soon as that came out, she was like, we have to watch this. Will you watch this? And I was like, yeah, obviously I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I'm nosy.
Right.
I'm interested in true crime. I'm not as interested as she is. I'm more interested just because I'm nosy.
Right.
I want to know what happened. And his hypothetical ass, definitely. Like, honestly, we did, like, it's sad and people are dead, so, like, it's not funny, but, like, it's funny to watch that and hear him. Just the way he uses the word hypothetical is fucking laughable. Shit's hilarious.
So
and you don't know what it means.
No.
Or he don't care. I think it is. It's like, watch it and tell us what you think, because I think it's arrogance. I really do. I think it's arrogance and narcissism.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what you diagnosed OJ with, because I'm clearly
because
a medical doctor
there were definitely issues. Like, there's 911 calls of her calling and, like, reporting domestic abuse prior to...
All right, like, he should have had a restraining order. He shouldn't have been... There should have been no reason for his blood at the scene other than he was murdering hoes, and y'all should have known that.
Yeah. Yup. What else happened this weekend? Coachella?
I don't know a lot about that.
I don't know. It's some fucking music festival out in wherever. Is it in California, somewhere in the desert, and all the fucking influencers and celebrities go to it. I don't really know at what point it turned into that, like why it's like this celebrity like packed festival, but it is. And I saw Taylor and Travis went, which I know we talked about last week, how we don't really want to talk about them like when they're on vacations, but I feel like when you go to Coachella, you're going there to be seen.
But
like that's not a private vacation.
If it's a big celebrity-studded event, we can talk about that. We don't want to talk about like them making out in the Bahamas by themselves,
right?
But like if they're in a crowd of 100 other people, then it's our business.
It was cute. She was wearing like a New Heights hat, which is his podcast, and then he was wearing a Happy Gilmore hat, and so now people are talking about if he's going to be in Happy Gilmore, because this is the second time he's been seen in that hat. And
people can't just like a hat.
Well, he's due like it kind of would make sense. Like Adam Sandler is making a new Happy Gilmore.
I don't know what Adam Sandler does.
Well, I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm interested.
So, and he always has like random celebrity cameos, like in
his movies.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
A little bit with the guy from SNL. What was his name?
Yeah, Jake Peralta. Nope,
No.
that's his name in the show.
I was going to say, that's not him.
Andy Samberg.
I'm on a boat, yeah.
Yeah, so his name's Jake Peralta in the show. So just, he was doing, like, an undercover thing, and he's, like, being an auctioneer, and it's, like, an auctioneer for, like, historical artifacts. And Adam Sandler's in the audience. And he's like, Adam Sandler, what are you doing here? And he's like, what, I can't be serious? He's like, I'm making a serious movie about the, whatever, the Peter the Great. Something about, like, Russia, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm making a timepiece about Russia. And then Andy Samberg and Jake Peralta, he's like, oh, yeah? Who's Kevin James playing? And he's like, oh, it's a serious movie. Who's Kevin James playing? And he's like, playing the Tsar or something.
Yeah. He is very loyal to, like, his friends. Like, he always brings back
his friends are always
people.
there. His friends are always in his movies. Those are his fucking friends.
Yeah. You know, he's, like, one of the top paid actors because, like, he's rich as fuck.
I really respect him for, like, still being himself and, like, hanging out with his friends.
Yeah. And they have, like, schools now do, like, Adam Sandler days for, like, Spirit Weeks.
What are they just wear, like, basketball shorts and shirts?
Yeah, exactly.
How comfortable.
My friend Tracy the other day was like, Maddie went to school. It was like Spirit Week because they had like prom or whatever, and she's like, she went to school dressed as Adam Sandler, but I don't know what today was. And I was like, I think it was Adam Sandler Day.
Yeah, if you're dressed like Adam Sandler.
She was like, that's a thing. I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it. I think they had it at Central too, but well, whatever. But Kate never does Spirit Week, but
she's too cool.
But anyway, so they were there, and then I saw that Kesha performed, and you know her song, like, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. She changed the lyrics to, wake up in the morning, fuck you, P. Diddy.
That's cute.
I was like, because when I watched it, and I heard, like, the song start, and I'm like, is she really gonna say that line, like, with the shit that's going on right now? But she changed it, so that was funny. And then I saw, what else did I see? I saw Will Smith came out, which I don't even know and did like a Men in Black song.
Oh, I think there's like I saw like Universal was posting on Threads that it's like Men in Black's anniversary or something.
Oh, that makes sense. Because I thought that was very random. Like, when's the last time he was on a stage like that, performing music?
And like, I mean, that song's definitely from the 90s. Yeah. So.
The Men in Black guy at, I don't think I've ever actually ridden it at Universal. As many times as I've been.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was there. I think the last time I went to Universal was in the 8th grade, so I don't think it was there.
That was a random thought, but I just thought that ride is not very popular at Universal. But it would make sense because it's so old.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they should change that. But what else? I didn't see a ton else that happened at Coachella. And then what else? Pop music. I saw the Jonas Brothers. So random. I never liked the Jonas Brothers, but this popped up on my feed and I thought it was so fucked up.
I like Frankie Jonas.
That's literally
Franklin.
Yeah, that's literally what the comments were saying, because I guess they were on tour. They just finished like the US leg of the tour, and then they were supposed to go to the European tour, and they make a video like and post it on their socials of them standing. It literally looks like they're standing in like an apartment complex hallway. And they're just like, hey guys, we're postponing the European tour. We've got some big things coming up, so we're just gonna have to come back to y'all later.
Did people pay for these tickets?
Yes. Like, it starts in like 10 days. It was supposed to start in like 10 days. And they'll just pretty much, I swear to God, like, I'll have to find the video and post it, because
they're the narcissists.
I swear to God, they're like, literally, like, we have better things to do, so we'll come to Europe some other time.
That's rude as shit.
So fucking rude. So then the comments were like, this is why Frankie's everyone's favorite. So it's so funny you just said that.
He is my favorite.
I'm like, what the so then they're like, they're not even an apology.
That's why it didn't even sound like an apology.
No, they didn't even like say sorry in it. Like, not the word sorry came out of their mouth. Just that they're postponing the European tour because they have something better in the works. What the
That's
fuck?
rude as shit. That's some narcissist behavior.
So do they get to be canceled yet? Because they're already really kind of weird.
I don't know why they didn't get canceled when they were running around with their fucking purity rings, honestly. Them fucking weirdos. They're weirdos.
They've always been.
They're weirdos. Taylor Swift would never. Somebody died at her concert.
Oh my God,
she was like, let me give y'all $1 million and cry.
She dated the one Jonas, Joe Jonas, and he broke up with her via text.
And then when his wife left him, Taylor Swift gave her somewhere to stay. Taylor Swift gave her apartment and was like, you can use my New York apartment for your home base.
While you go through this.
Girl power. Once again.
She said, fuck you.
We're Taylor Swift fans. Well, Kim really is, and I am now too. So.
But I thought that was so random. And then
they're douchebags.
They really are.
Except for Franklin. Weird. I love Franklin.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know much about him because he's a little brother that
He has a show.
Does he?
Yeah. So he has a show. It's a really fun. It's a reality show, and I don't remember the name of it. Maybe it'll come to me while I'm talking. But it's about like celebrity relatives. So it's like
the ones that no one knows type thing. That's pretty funny.
So they all live in this house, and then what's it called? I follow a couple people from the show.
You have to guess,
and you have to guess who's who.
I heard of that. You have to like guess who they're related to, or like
oh my god,
people,
it's
not
so
like
fucking good.
Like the people within it.
The people within it have to guess who each other are, and they have to like they can lie to each other. They can form alliances.
Yeah,
it's really really good.
Yeah.
What's it called? Yeah. So Nick Cannon's little brother. And so in the very beginning of the show, the first episode, you tell everybody if the person you're related to, what their genre is. Like, is it...
but you can lie about it.
Yeah, you can lie.
I saw people lie. Yeah.
So, in the beginning, you have to say, there's 3 things that you have to say, and 1 can be a lie.
Okay.
Or maybe they can... maybe you have to tell the truth about 1. Maybe it's like 2 truths and a lie, or something like that. But you have to say how you're related to the... Yeah. So you have to say how you're related to the person, what their profession is, like in general, like is it an actor, a singer, an athlete, and then you have to say what the highest award they've ever won is, and one of those things can be a lie. So a lot of people play it smart, and I only watched the 2nd season because that's what came up on my streaming service, and as we've established before, we don't have cable,
so you don't really know which one is a lie. Because I'm thinking like if you said they played basketball but then the highest award they won was an Oscar, obviously one of those is a lie.
Right.
Well, I guess some sports people go into, because you could say they were like WWE, but then the highest was an Oscar, and I don't know if the Rock's ever won what he's went from.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, say, like, you say they're an athlete, but they won an Oscar. The Oscar could be the lie.
Right.
So a lot of people say that they are related to athletes because there's so many athletes.
Right.
But not everybody knows. So Nick Cannon's brother, he said that he was related to an athlete, and then he's constantly telling these stories about his brother, and he says it's his brother and he's an athlete, and I don't remember what the award that he won was, and he is like telling these stories about him having like all these girlfriends and these wives and how they're okay with it, or like baby mamas, whatever, all these girlfriends and how they're okay with it. And so everybody thinks that screams sports star, you know what I mean? And then like, so you can get a clue about each person. And at the end, like he played the game really well. Like he ended up winning, like he was really good at it. And he ended up getting his clue, and then he had to show it to one other person. But the one other person knew nothing about pop culture. And also they don't have their phones or the internet.
Right. Obviously, because they can.
They can't. Right. Well, and then you can't even like talk to your family members.
Right.
Because then like they could tell you.
Right.
So, so the person who he showed it was Donny Osmond's son. This guy doesn't know anybody or anything. And nobody knows who he is, because nobody knows who Donny Osmond is at this point, except for fucking me.
Right.
So his clue was 10 babies and a drum.
Oh my god.
So that's so obvious.
Yeah.
But he saw it, and Donny Osmond's kids had no fucking clue what that meant. But like for anybody normal, it was 10 babies and a drum. Fucking Nick Cannon, obviously.
Right.
Obviously, yeah. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Oh, Frankie.
Because Frankie hosted it.
Yeah. So, that's how I met Franklin. That's the only thing I know about Franklin Jonas. Honestly, that's probably the most that I've watched of any Jonas brother, and it's really good. And he talks shit about the rest of them a lot.
Yeah, they're all fucking weird. I don't know, man.
And he says that.
Yeah. Well, celebrity got to them, but I think they were always weird from the get.
Well, and like, again, they're like child actors. That's what happened when you get famous when you're 12.
Yeah, but they were weird when they were 12. Like, the persona that they went with was just...
Purity culture? Was that chosen by the fucking Disney Channel, though?
I mean, true. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, how much of that was, like, an act? Like, do you remember... We used to watch all the MTV original movies. Remember that movie that they made about the boy bands together forever? No, that was...
I know.
And you know what? Maybe I'm talking about MTV.
No, that was MTV. Together Forever.
Together Forever.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like that's how... But you know what I mean? Like, they made it like a joke about, like, picking these kids and giving them these personas. And I feel like it wasn't as much a joke. I feel like that was, like...
Right.
High satire.
Right.
But like based on real true life.
Well,
so,
yeah,
like,
I mean, because like Lance Bass wasn't allowed to be gay. You know, they were very controlled over what they were allowed to say and do, and
right. So like, how much of like the Jonas Brothers is the Jonas Brothers, and how much of that was given to them by the Disney Channel?
True.
Or whoever.
True.
I mean, I don't want to defend them. I feel like I'm defending them.
No, that was when the whole, like, pure, because even Britney was, like, purity at that time. Well, or before, they were before Britney. I mean, Britney was before
Britney was before that.
Yeah. But it was a whole thing, but maybe they felt like she went to, like, you know, that was one of her platforms, so they were, like, trying to build like, from that, too.
Jump on that, whatever, right.
But, speaking of... Two truths and a lie. We have a game.
We do have a game. I have a game.
We said last week that we were going to do a game. So, Corn came up with a game idea. I'm going to let her give the rundown. What are we going to call this game?
All right. So, this is basically a play on Two Truths and a Lie, but it's also... So, when I was a kid... So, we've talked about games, and, like, we were thinking about, like, radio games. So, when we were kids... we had a great radio station around here called The Buzz. It was an alternative radio station. If you're from the Treasure Coast area, you might know what I'm talking about.
I think people still hate that, like, miss that.
I'm mad about it, honestly. I'm mad about The Buzz.
I'm so sorry. I turned everything off. My phone's on silent. My Bluetooth is off. And yet my car still wants to ring. So I don't know how to stop it.
So to make sure that you know how popular you are.
Doesn't know how to work the phone.
Farquad.
I need to something. I'm so sorry, people, that this is how I look today.
So, The Buzz, they used to do a segment called Weird News, and they would give you, like, this crazy-ass news that happened, and it was always really good. So then I was like, what if I found up some weird news? And then I was like, what if I found up 2 weird news stories, and then I made one up? Okay. So we've got 3 weird, and they're not, like, super weird, but they're just, like, little obscure news stories. And one of them I completely made up. So I'll read them all to you now.
Okay.
You can see what you think, but I'm not going to tell you until next week.
Okay, so I can guess, but you're not going to tell me if I'm right until next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So number 1, and these are all within the last month, but it's not all like last week because I don't want you to go home and Google it. But they're within the last month, so like it's semi-recent, but...
Okay.
All right. So in Paris, France, they have a cafe waiters race. It originated in 1914, celebrating the know-how and skill of waiters. Apparently around the world, it is very globally believed that the service in French cafes is very slow and that it's not great service. So they have this race. It was paused in 2011 due to budget cuts. With the Olympics coming back there this summer, they decided to redo it. So they had the race. It is a 1.5 mile circle from City Hall back to City Hall.
Okay.
The rules are you have to cross the finish line without spilling, running, or ever carrying your tray with 2 hands. Your tray has a croissant, a glass full of water, and an empty coffee cup. And then when you get to the finish line, there's judges to like see like if you spilled or if you broke your fucking cup. Then obviously
you're out.
Deducted.
Okay.
So there was a men's winner who finished within 13 minutes and 30 seconds, and there was a women's winner who finished in 14 minutes and 12 seconds.
Impressive.
All right, interesting. Yeah. I couldn't do that.
I could not do that. I maybe one time. One time I was being a dumbass, and I had like a tray full of water, and the server Henry was fucking with me as always, and I was like, yeah Henry, and I raised the fucking tray up, but I'm not that good. Like, I don't know why I thought I was that good in that moment or what I thought I was fucking doing, and the whole tray of water fell all over me, all over the server station. And thankfully we had
Did you even get Henry?
No, and thankfully we had just opened, so it wasn't busy, but there was like a table right next to me, and like people at the bar that saw it, and I'm like, I really don't know like why I thought I could do that. Like, what I was doing. And then of course it was on camera, so then of course the manager had to pull up the camera and see me fucking with Henry, like, yeah Henry, and it all fucking fell. So I don't think I would do very well in that race.
I don't think you would either. I think you'd probably lose, but
yeah.
I'd still play.
Okay, next news story. Sorry.
Okay, our next story is a real life Homeward Bound. Remember Homeward Bound?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this family has a dog. They live in San Diego. They have a dog. She's about 2 years old. She goes to work with the dad every day. He works in an auto garage, right? So she goes missing. They put up 1 million flyers. The mom says that she put up 1,000 flyers everywhere, right? And where are my dates? Because it was like a good amount of time. So it was like in July, August, she went missing of this last year. Police in Harper Woods, Detroit respond to a call about a stray dog In late March, they called the animal welfare group, quickly came to get the dog, realized that she was chipped. So they call the family. The family just so happened to have a trip coming up to Minnesota. So as soon as they land in Minnesota, the dad gets in the car, he drives, he gets the dog, everything's well and good, the dog's fine. The thing is, the dog's in great health, has clearly been fed. She was chipped, she had a collar with their number on it the whole time. How'd she get across the country? The animal rights group leader is assuming that the dog was probably stolen and sold to someone else and then got out, because you want to cross the country looking fine. Someone would have picked you up and she was chipped.
Yeah.
Someone should have realized that.
That's crazy.
Real life homeward bound. Well, I guess because she didn't go home, but they found her, but whatever.
I mean, maybe, what were they already going to fucking...
Minnesota? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's some news. It's, a couple paragraphs. They don't give you all that, right?
So random.
And then my last one is out of Canada. Okay. So, here we have a 25-year-old woman. I can't read my handwriting. Whatever. In her 20s. She had been renting a basement apartment from an older man. He was 56. And she had started renting his apartment when she was 18. She had grown up in the foster care system. She had a mom that had passed away when she was young. It was the only family that she knew. So she got out of foster care. She found the cheapest apartment that she could. It's this guy's basement apartment. He doesn't really have any family either. They end up kind of like being like, what do you call it? Not foster, but like, there's like a word, like surrogate family, right?
Okay.
So like they do their little holidays together. So last year for Christmas, she decides, I'm going to buy us ancestry kits because we've become family and we don't know our families. So it turned out it was her dad the whole time. Apparently it had been a one-night stand in the late 90s. He never even knew. Never knew he got this girl pregnant. He met this girl at a concert. They fucked. And then, he had no idea that he even had a child. So, it was a cute little story for them. They ended up getting a new tenant and she moved into the house. I don't know. That's how they give you. You know what I mean? It's like a cute little
I know, that's
story.
like the last one. Okay. So one is a server race. 2 is a homeward bound dog. And 3 is an ancestry DNA
tenant.
I was going to say fail, but I'm not sure that was a fail. Thank God they didn't sleep together.
I've seen those too.
I know.
I've seen a lot of those.
Where they
were like
become
in a relationship and it was like turned out that it was like siblings that were adopted or like parent child.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yeah, because if you're like you're young and you have a kid and you don't know about it, then like when you get older, your kid and age isn't such a big factor. Yeah.
Right. Like I mean, Eric and I aren't
like if you got pregnant
at
15.
I have slept with people that are 15 years older than me.
That's what so like if you get someone pregnant at 15 and they never tell you, and then you're older and now you like someone that's 15 years older than you, which happens. My parents were like 17 years apart.
Right.
And ends up being like, okay, whatever. So that story could have been worse.
It could have.
So it's believable because that shit does happen. But I'm going to go with the waiter race is fake. It just seems weird that they would like do a race around the world, like around the city, and I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either, but
and like I've always heard that the French aren't fun, so why would they do something fun to make fun of themselves?
That's a good point. Maybe I made it all up.
So I'm moving with one. What do you think? Which one was fake?
Let us know. Also, I know that we've said this before, but like in the beginning, and like maybe we have some more viewers now. If you have anything, questions, concerns, topics, throw it at us in the comments, right?
Yeah. We're always looking for ideas because I mean, literally, we just get in our car and talk, and I don't know if is that boring. I think it's fun.
I think it's fun.
I mean, we change the topic every week.
Yeah, right. And like, right. I mean, we only like stay on 2 things so that we can be kind of like in one fucking zone.
Well, what do they say? Niche. I hate that word.
Niche.
But we also don't want to be like totally all over the place because if you come on, you're expecting to hear something about Disney or something about pop culture and maybe sprinkled with a little like mom life and life in general. But we're up for any ideas, whatever you want to hear our take on, whatever, even if.
Right. And like that's what like the niche thing, because like I get it, like sometimes like it gets annoying because like everybody on the internet is like, you gotta niche down. And like I get it, right? Because then like if I'm talking about cooking one day and I'm talking about, Satanism the next day, you might not be interested in both of those things. Right.
Good analogy. Going, thanks for...
That's not something I'm into. I'm just
letting them know that's not where we're going.
I'm just saying, sometimes, like, some topics are so different. You know what I mean? Like, there might be, like, things that we think are normal to talk about together, but someone else could take it that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's that different for them. So, we try to stay in, like, a general realm.
Yeah.
Can you tell I read a lot of sci-fi with the words I use? Realm. Yeah, we're open to suggestions. We're open to comments and questions. And if you want to talk about Bluey, you can just call me personally.
And any feedback or positive words of encouragement.
Right.
Or
we only take constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism only. JK. A little bit.
You must be nice to us, please.
Yeah. Or fuck off.
Only I can call myself Lord Farquaad. Please don't.
No one else call her that. She'll cry. Why did we cry the other night? Oh, we did cry the other night in the parking lot.
Oh, because KK got her last prom dress.
I
told her that that was my last time dress shopping with her. Karina has come with us every time to get like homecoming dresses and prom dresses. So we were leaving the mall the other day, and I was like, "This is the last time, Karina, until we have to shop for a wedding dress."
And then she got all teenager mad at us.
She did, but
fuck her.
She gets mad.
I'm kidding. We love you, Kaylee.
We do, but we're just very sad that it's
the end of an era.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes.
Are the boys gonna go prom dress shopping with us? I doubt it.
No.
I mean, my kid was interested because he's 5, so that's not gonna last.
We have no one else to prom dress shop for.
I know. We could get them tuxedos.
We could.
Bow ties.
Yes, we will have to do that for Kaden next.
What do they do?
No cummerbunds.
Pocket square?
Maybe
Maybe a top hat?
Possibly.
That's gonna get fun. All right, I'm excited again. I'm excited about missing Kaylee for a minute.
I know.
All right, I think we're at like an hour.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Peace
out. K-Town down. Yes. Karina says that she didn't know what I was doing here, but I'm pretty sure this is a sign language K. If I'm wrong, can someone tell me? It looks like a little something between the legs.
Yeah, I was
gonna
say,
I think
looks
it's
like you're a hermaphrodite.
Isn't it a sign language K?
I don't know.
K-Town down.
Sign language. I should though.
Okay, well,
someone else tell us.
I'm gonna look it up.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.